Hi guys, Josh here. About to talk about the Halo multiplayer. This is an exclusive series of talking about every multiplayer in Halo. And as a disclaimer, when I was a kid, I only played the campaigns. I did play the multiplayer, but it wasn't on Xbox Live. I played on these multiplayer maps alone and checked them out. And I didn't play multiplayer on Xbox Live with other players until Halo 5 Guardians. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's get started. Halo Combat Evolved's multiplayer was the most revolutionary multiplayer of all time. Bungie only had 1 week to develop this multiplayer. I love the combat in this multiplayer. I love it how the pistol is overpowered. And the vehicles, some of them are indestructible, while others have destruction to them. This was the first ever multiplayer to even have vehicles in combat. And that was revolutionary in of itself. And man, I love the Needler. I love it how the needles just go. I mean, it made the most biggest explosion you've ever seen in gaming history. And the grenades. Oh my god, I love the grenades in Halo Combat Evolved. The trooper grenades are so powerful in Halo Combat Evolved that goes. And I even love the plasma grenades. The explosion is so big that you wouldn't even believe it. I love the multiplayer of Halo Combat Evolved. What I loved about it is the big maps and the small maps. There was even some unique multiplayer aspects where you have to go through portals as gameplay. And no other game has managed to replicate that sense from Halo Combat Evolved. There was even 2 ships side by side that you could do combat, and you could not do that in any other multiplayer. It was revolutionary at the time. The 1990 style was in Halo Combat Evolved in 2001. Bungie had the most impossible task just making this in a week, so yeah, I get it. The respawns can be a little tedious, but honestly, I think the respawns are really good in Halo Combat Evolved. Yes, there might be some people that say that's outdated, but you can't really complain about this because this was a game that wasn't made for Xbox Live. It was just made for LAN parties and 4-player split screen. So if you were expecting top-of-the-line spawns, well, this is not the Halo game for that, unfortunately. They were still learning the multiplayer as it was. Halo 2. The biggest franchise of all time. This game revolutionized gaming. And it created Xbox Live. I love Halo 2's multiplayer. The ambition when it comes to maps is a whole nother level. And they introduced the energy sword. And I just love that you can go with the energy sword. And it's got infinite ammo, which no other Halo game has since. And they even added the Furod gun. And man, I love the Furod gun. This weapon is my favorite weapon. Ever since I played Halo 2 on the campaign, the Furod gun is my favorite weapon. And I even love using it in multiplayer. I mean, the maps were so insane. Not only was there classic ones that was on Xbox, but eventually the PC ones came together once when it was on the Master Chief Collection. Heck, this even happened with Halo Combat Evolved when they added weapons to the sandbox on the multiplayer when they added the Master Chief Collection. I mean, this was the most revolutionary game / multiplayer of all time. And I give them all the credit in the world. Making Xbox Live an online focus was the most ambitious game of all time, and I commend Bungie for it. Halo 3 was a whole nother level. I mean, my God. The environments were so insane, and the detail, wow. I was very impressed at the time. I'd say this is a perfect game, in my opinion. Not only the campaign, but also the multiplayer, too. And what I love about it is the equipment. You get to use equipment in this game. And not to mention the gravity hammer that goes... I mean, it just packs that punch that no other weapon has. And there was this new weapon called the Spartan Laser that went like this. And it destroyed vehicles. And you can never forget the elephant in the room. That elephant that was exclusive to multiplayer in that one game. Heck, if you tried to leave the map, there was environmental storytelling that would destroy you if you tried to cross the map. The amount of creativity in this multiplayer was very insane and very ambitious and very revolutionary at the time. In the Master Chief Collection, they even added the DLC maps to the collection. And man, I love Halo 3's gameplay so much. It cannot be beat. No other multiplayer can beat Halo 3. I mean, what can I say? Best franchise / multiplayer of all time. Now, I'm going to skip Halo 3 ODST because technically it only had like a Halo 3 multiplayer, so that one I'm going to skip because it didn't have a multiplayer. Halo Reach. This multiplayer was very divisive when it comes to armor lock and the abilities. But if I had to be honest, I love the Spartan abilities in Halo Reach. I love how you can pick up the jetpack, the sprint, the armor lock, the shield. Heck, I even used it in my level design in Forge and created it in multiplayer as level design itself. I used to go crazy with the maps I made in multiplayer just to make my own custom story maps with parkour, puzzles, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, the maps were insane. And they did all the maps from the campaign to the multiplayer. That's what I love about Halo Reach so much, is that you can play the campaign stuff in the multiplayer. And the Spartan abilities, they were insane back in the day. I get that was controversial, but I loved these abilities. I love these Spartan pickups. And I just love how it shows a picture of it so you can easily know which Spartan abilities you want. I mean, it was Bungie's last hurrah to the series before they moved on. And I just love it that you can actually go into the shield map and just go up in the map and just completely fight in this tower with this big shield. Heck, even Forge World was insane. I mean, it was so ambitious that you could basically make multiplayer anywhere you want. And the weapons, man, they experimented with so many weapons. Honestly, it would take all day, but let's just say the sandbox in Halo Reach was a whole nother level. Halo 3 had the biggest sandbox already, but I would say that Halo Reach even defined it and even got even more sandbox in the process. I love Halo Reach so much. It's my favorite Halo game, even as much as Halo 3. That one was Halo Reach was so unique at the time. And I loved how you could do different loadouts and stuff. Yes, I get that some people don't like this, but honestly, personally, I love it. Let's see. Right. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I love the maps. I love the environments. I love the abilities on Halo Reach. But honestly, kind of looking back at Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, it was basically just like Halo Reach, but in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I guess I don't really have much to say about this. Just saying that I love the Reach aspects of these remakes, but it could have been so much more if they just remastered it as a classic experience, just like Halo 2 Anniversary. Like I said, I don't have much about it because I already talked about the Halo Reach multiplayer, so it's about the same. You know, favorite maps, favorite weapons, and just overall, looking back, it wasn't a good product overall. Now for Halo 4. Now this will be, just to give you a fair warning, this will be a controversial opinion. So just keep that in mind. I love Halo 4's multiplayer very much. I love it how every weapon is overpowered. And I love it that you can customize where you can have any weapon that you want. Heck, I would even go further in saying you can customize your favorite grenades, weapons, abilities, perks. Basically, they made Halo Call of Duty. And honestly, if I had to be honest, I think Halo works the best when it comes to doing these trends. Halo has always been really good at making a Halo game into something brand new. What I love about every multiplayer of Halo is that it always tries something new. And this one went above and beyond. I love how you can have any ability customized to your play style. And I love it how you can just switch between the pistol, the plasma, the bolt shot. Even the machine guns is fully customizable. You can pick whatever machine gun you want. And the grenades, you can pick between trooper grenades, plasma grenades, and the Promethean grenades. The sandbox was so good. 343 experimented with all kinds of weapons. There was even this one sticky grenade that if you went like this, you could actually wait until a player came near it and you can detonate it as soon as the player comes. That was my favorite weapon of all time. And I just love how you can use the bolt shot in this game. I mean, I just love being able to go like this, bang, and just one shot a Spartan. That was so fun. And I love it how you have to time it perfectly just to use the bolt shot. And what I remember doing is that I would actually have a bolt shot with cloak on, so I was invisible, and I have 2 plasma grenades. And when I was invisible, I would use the bolt shot to one-shot the player, and I would use plasma grenades to take out all the players while my cloak was activated, and it messed with the enemy design of the radar. Like, it showed a whole bunch of enemies. That's what the cloak does in Halo 4. And I love it how there's infinite sprint. Honestly, I love sprint. Sometimes I'll go classic form and just walk. But then when I have an energy sword, I'll go like this with the sprint and go. I do that every time when I have an energy sword with sprint. I use sprint and go like this. It is so damn fun. If you guys haven't tried this already, you gotta try it. It gives you an adrenaline rush that you will never get in the Bungie games. The 343 games with the energy sword and sprint, you get such adrenaline rush. And I love it so much. And I love the maps too. They are the most detailed maps in the franchise. And I love it how there's ordnance drops. This is controversial, like I said, but honestly, I love the random ordnance drops. And I love it how if you actually get enough progression, it will give you that weapon or power up. It was very rewarding for a game at its time. And I feel like it's been overshadowed by the negativity. Honestly, I love this multiplayer so much. And what I love about this multiplayer is that it still feels like Halo. No matter what multiplayer I play, to me, it always had a balance between trying something new and always feeling like Halo. That's one thing that I've always loved about not only Bungie games, but also 343 games. No matter how experimental it is, it always feels like Halo to me. Even though the gameplay was changed to fit like Call of Duty, it still felt like Halo to its core. And that's what I love about every multiplayer. Let's see. The Master Chief Collection was just a whole bunch of collections, so I won't go big in depth. But let's just say they added everything for every multiplayer when it comes to Halo Combat Evolved 2, 3, Reach, 4. So I won't take too much time on that. Halo 5. Yes, the most controversial game of all time. You know my personal thoughts on the campaign. It sucks. It was the worst campaign of all time. But what made me redeem myself for this title was the multiplayer. The multiplayer was really good at its time. And they added content over time for the community. And yes, I get that the rec system was controversial, but without the rec system, we would have never gotten so many free updates on Halo 5. I'm not even joking. The amount of content on this game was insane. I mean, there was so much multiplayer content that you just had to be there to see for yourself. Halo 5 was so content rich that I loved it so much. There was so many armor sets, multiplayer. I mean, so many custom games. The amount of content that you could play in the multiplayer is basically infinite. And I know, the pun, Halo Infinite, all the feedback that people did with Halo 5's multiplayer ended up feedback to Halo Infinite. Everything that was in Halo 5, whether it was the weapon variants, the flying vehicle, and other stuff, it made it to Halo Infinite. And even I did feedback on Halo 5 and Infinite. Halo 5 was the foundation of where Halo Infinite was, and then I gave infinite feedback on Halo Infinite, and it is the game that it is today. Halo 5's multiplayer, even though the rec system was controversial, it was the most ambitious, most revolutionary multiplayer of all time. And I love all the abilities that come with it. I get that I trashed the campaign, but honestly, I still love these abilities, these Spartan abilities that you had for for your Spartan, whether it's in campaign or multiplayer. And honestly, nothing will compare Halo 5's multiplayer experience than it was for the other Halo games. It was just a time where you had to be there. Alright, now for Halo. Well, I guess I'll go next with Halo Wars 1. Halo Wars 1 was an RTS game, and I love the multiplayer. Unfortunately, I never played Xbox Live on this, but I did play with AI. I mostly did AI even now because the multiplayer is so difficult on Halo Wars that I just don't even play on Xbox Live at that point because, yeah, not for me. But when I did play multiplayer with the AI, I always loved using the Covenant and using that Prophet to use the laser on the enemies. Heck, I even did Covenant versus Covenant because I love Halo Wars so much. And I will never forget my multiplayer experience for Halo Wars. It was that good. It took 5 years to make, the most revolutionary multiplayer of all time, and nothing will compare RTS multiplayer than Halo Wars. Now, Halo Wars 2, I personally played the campaign, but I didn't play the multiplayer, so I can't really judge the multiplayer. But I imagine it is just as good. I played the firefight, but I know, someday I should get in the multiplayer and try out. But where it stands, I think it's really good. I know I don't have much thought process, but yeah. Halo Wars was a really good game, and someday I'll try the multiplayer. Now, Halo Infinite. This multiplayer was infinite. It added so much content over time. And yes, I know, there was drought seasons when it came to the seasons, I know. But eventually when content came, Halo Infinite was the most content-rich game of all time. Even better than Halo 5. I mean, the content is getting so big right now, that's literally infinite. And with the Forge mode that you can make endless customized maps just like Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, it is literally infinite. The multiplayer was a mix of classic and modern. They fixed the issue of modernizing multiplayer with other games. They made it look and feel like a classic game finally. And I would say Halo Infinite did the perfect balance between classic and modern. And it's all because of my feedback. I gave endless feedback, infinite feedback to this game. And it is my favorite Halo multiplayer of all time. Heck, I even like the fact that you can finally see your Spartan with all of its armor glory. I always imagined that with a Halo game, but the reason why it was such a problem back in the day was because you always had to have a certain color with a certain team. Now with Halo Infinite, it will show your Spartan, and it will just show the outline of the color. And this was my dream Halo game. I get it, the monetization was awful, but at least it made up with the debt, the technical debt that they had when it came to this game and engine. Obviously, Halo Infinite went up and down through its seasons, but I would say it's the best campaign in the series.